Good morning, guys. Not much out in the way of news, well, nothing drastic anyway, over the last sort of 48 hours or since last Friday. Do have a few talking heads this evening. Looking forward, I guess there's a bit of price risk around inflation, GDP, also Aussie inflation, but otherwise economic data, there's not much there. And overnight, first sort of trading day, we didn't get much of a movement. Bonds yields bounced a little bit, 20 basis points, nothing huge in that, as that sort of just carried on from last Friday, where it closed in here. So it's put on 20 basis points, nothing massive, well, compared to the previous volatility. I guess to me the biggest thing of note is that VIX is still coming off, even though the larger index traded sideways, didn't do much, and NASDAQ came off a little. The fact that VIX is coming off would say that there's no risk in price. I mean, the market's not too concerned about any major moves either direction, which is what VIX measures. Yet you look at bonds and you look at currencies, and it tells a different picture, that they are starting to price in systematic risk, thanks to all the news and the fact that inflation hasn't been under control and interest rates are still quite high. They're pricing that in, but stocks are not. So I guess it's a matter of who's right and who's wrong. Is currencies and bonds wrong, or stocks wrong? And if you guys listen to me, you'll know that I don't think the stock market gets it right many times at all. Dollar index, a little sideways, off a little, nothing huge in that. Yen a little weaker, and if we go and look at it against the peers, you can see it's a little weaker across the board, as trying to price in the movement of stocks which don't see any risk. So there's that safe haven flow. Cable, chopping around as it's trying to make its way back across that range. Euro dollar, did say that it probably bounce off 107. Looks like it's heading back up to these highs around 110. That's sort of carrying on today, or the last 24 hours. And Aussie dollar, I mentioned it's going back down to these lows here, maybe even back down to these lows. Time will tell, and I guess a lot of that will be based around what the US dollar is, but I don't see any reason to be buying Aussie still, not until China sort of kicks it into another gear, and they're far from doing that. So that's where we're at. We'll chat again tomorrow, guys.